Hare Krishna, welcome back to my channel. So I am here to one more video about Saturn. So in my previous video we have discussed like what is Saturn and what Saturn represents. So we have discussed that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn and Aquarian is also ruled by Saturn. Now we have to see in our chart like whether our planet Saturn is strong or not. So a planet is considered strong when it is placed in the sign of friend or neutral planet. For example, if I will be sitting with my friend, so definitely I will be feeling very good. If I will be sitting with my enemy, definitely I will not feel good. And if I will be sitting with a best friend, then the feeling will be so good. So it depends uh, along which with planet your Saturn is sitting. So Saturn is a planet which associated with discipline, perseverance, and practicality. It also represents a structure, organization, and long-term planning. On the other hand, if I will talk about the Mercury, so Mercury and Saturn relationship is basically based on the understanding and their energies that can work well together. Like Mercury is known for intellect, communication, and analytical thinking. It also governs areas such as learning, reasoning, and expression. So when Mercury and Saturn sits together, then their Saturn's practical and disciplined nature can help ground Mercury's intellectual and communicative abilities, allowing for effective and strategic thinking. So the friendship is good. Or we can say, in turn, Mercury's analytical and logical approach can aid Saturn in making practical decisions and formulating long term plans. So, when Saturn and Mercury are sitting together, the Saturn is known for the practicality, and Mercury is known for the communication and intellectual thinking. So when intellectual thinking and practicality will come together, then it will be beneficial, like we can plan our long term goals. So Saturn and Mercury both are the good friends, best friends we cannot say, but both are the good friends. Now if we discuss about the Venus, Venus is a sign which represents love, beauty, and relationship. And Saturn, what Saturn represents, it represents discipline, responsibility, and hard work. But when both the planets will sit together, like Venus will sit with the Saturn, then what will happen? Then they both have a positive influence on a person's ability to achieve their long term stability and success in relationship and material pursuits, because Venus is associated with love, beauty, luxury, and material comforts, while Saturn is associated with discipline, hard work, and long term planning. So these two planets, when in a relationship in a horoscope, can indicate that a person who can balance the material comforts and luxuries with discipline and hard work to achieve their long term stability and success. So, Venus and Saturn both feel very good with each other. So, they both are having best friendship. So, I have already discussed that if we talk about the Taurus, like if you're wherever in your kundli it is written 2, then 2 is represent Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So when Saturn is sitting with Taurus, like where 2 number is written, and there if you find Saturn along with number 2, then definitely the result will be very good. Your Saturn is exalted in Taurus and Libra also. Libra means 7 number. So wherever 7 number written in your kundli, and Saturn is sitting on that particular along with that number, that means Saturn is sitting with Libra. In this case, Saturn is exalted because Saturn having the best friendship with Venus, and 2 and 7, Taurus and Libra, both are ruled by Venus. And it can also represent when these two planets, Venus and Saturn, are in relationship, it can also indicate that a person a person can achieve their long term goals, stability, and success, along with the person can also achieve and can also, can also take pleasure of luxuries and material comforts. Now, if we talk about the Sun and Saturn, and you all know that Sun and Saturn both are the enemies, both are the opposite. How? Because Sun represent the power, authority, self expression, while Saturn represent discipline, limitation, and restrictions. Just like that, if Saturn sees the moon, moon is also enemy of Saturn, because Saturn represents the discipline, responsibility, and hard work, where moon represents our emotions, our imaginations, our sensitivity. So whenever Saturn is associated with the structure, boundaries, and the ability of delay gratification. When these planets moon and Saturn are together now, then you can see the results are not good, because the person is not able to balance their emotional needs with their responsibilities. Are you getting my point? And duties. So definitely it will lead for the person to make decisions and taking actions. So Saturn and moon both are the enemies. Saturn and sun are also both are the enemies, because Saturn is a very slow planet. It always represents the patience, discipline, hard work, and slow and steady approach. You have always remembered the story of rabbit and tortoise, where rabbit was very fast and tortoise were very slow. So here you can represent the tortoise with the Saturn. So Saturn also represents the restrictions, delays, and responsibilities. And Mars, if you talk about the Saturn and Mars combination, so Mars is the planet of action, energy, and assertiveness, which will governs the ambition, passion, and self motivation. So definitely you can see that Mars and Saturn are enemies, because what their contrasting nature, because Mars represent the energy, Mars planet is very fast, where Saturn is very slow. So whenever these two planets come together,